Yo! What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you a new video. As you can see in the background, I'm going to be talking about the Florida Gators today. Even you Georgia fans, you should still watch this because I'm going to be talking a lot about things that would interest you as a Georgia fan to know what's going on in Gainesville. It's nice to keep up, with your rivals. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to get straight into the point. We are all seeing what's going on in Athens right now. They're going to be replacing every starter but two on offense, I believe, something crazy like that. Georgia's defense is always going to be at an elite level as long as Kirby Smart's there. You can count on it. So what does that mean for the Florida Gators this year? It's imperative for us to take advantage of the 2020 football season. This is our chance to finally beat Georgia. We need to gain ground recruiting because Kirby's recruiting like it's nobody's business up there. We can all agree on that. Whether they're doing it legally or not, it doesn't matter. They haven't been caught. No sanctions. We got to catch up. And most importantly, we need to win the East, and that starts with recruiting, and it starts with putting the right players in the game and putting the players in situations in which they can succeed, which Dan Mullen does a great job of. So, we all heard the news. C.J. Henderson's going to the draft. We're going to be having a new starting corner out there. Who will it be? Look no further than Kyer Elam. He played at a pretty high level for a freshman this year. I think he's going to fill that role nicely. To be honest with you, I think CJ was checked out before the season started after last season. Had a great sophomore season. He was elite. This year he didn't play up to expectations, but he would make no mistake about it. He's going to be elite in the NFL, I believe. Probably a late first round, early second round draft pick. Go get that money, young man. Until the NCAA is going to start paying these guys, you can't blame them. Marco Wilson has declared that he's coming back, along with Sean Davis, two people that have played a lot of snaps in the secondary. That's huge. One area we need to improve on as a defense is definitely the safety play. So Sean Davis coming back. He played really good early on in the season. Towards the latter part of the season, he fell off a little bit. And I was thinking maybe he was going to declare, but I'm glad he's back. We're still waiting on one that's still up in the air, in my opinion, Kadarius Toney. What do I think about Kadarius Toney? He doesn't have a lot on film right now. So for him to go to the draft, I don't even know if he'll get drafted. I don't really know what he's debating on. But he reminds me a lot of a player Georgia had. What was his name? Mecole Hardman, I think. Mecole Hardman plays for the Chiefs. Reminds me a lot of him. They called him the human joystick. That's Kadarius Toney. He may be a good NFL player one day, but I think he can be featured in this offense next year, and he can put a lot on film if he can stay healthy. So we're waiting on Kadarius Toney to see what he's going to do. I don't think it really affects us as an offense. We've got playmakers at every position, as I'm about to fill you in on. So we got since last time I talked to you guys, we picked up a commitment from Xavier Henderson, which is CJ's little brother. He's an elite receiver, 4-star talent. He's from Columbus High School down there near Miami, Fort Lauderdale area, South Florida. He can run, he can jump, and he can take the top off of defense, we haven't had a receiver that can really do that. Not that we've had a quarterback that can take the top off of defense either, and we'll get on that in a minute. We also had former 5-star Miami Hurricane running back Lorenzo Lingard. When he's healthy, this kid's going to be elite too. He's had knee injuries. He's had problems staying healthy. So we've yet to see what he can do in college. So we'll see what he can do. I think UF's pretty hopeful on the waiver. I think his father or grandpa, somebody's sick, and University of Florida's a little closer than Miami. So maybe we can get that hardship waiver. We'll see. Be on the lookout for another transfer from the portal. Justin Shorter, another 5-star, transferring in from Penn State. I think we're the favorite to land him right now. He was in Gainesville last week, I believe. Rumors was he was picking out apartment shopping. We'll see. I don't know his situation, if he's a grad transfer or what. I haven't really done my research on that, but I know he's a former 5-star. That would make 3 on the roster right now with Lingard, Shorter, and Brenton Cox, all transfers. So the portal's been good to Florida. But be careful, because what giveth can also taketh away. and that's another topic I'm fitting to get on right now. Will Emory Jones be the starter in 2020? So if you take a look at the starting quarterbacks that made the college football playoff this year, they had something in common. And what they had in common is they can all move in the pocket and extend plays. When you can extend a play, no matter how bad your offensive line is, if you can extend a play and you've got the playmakers we have at receiver and these elite teams have at receiver and running back out the backfield, the defense can't cover them forever. Okay? So I believe for us to take that next step, we have to have somebody that can, move in the pocket, extend plays. Don't take this the wrong way. I personally love the job Trask did. He stepped up when his number was called. He played great football. And if you're looking for a 10-win season, 11-win season, Trask is your guy. But, guys, I'm talking about next year the way the schedule sets up. I'm not being a homer. Go look at Florida's schedule. Georgia fans, go look at Florida's schedule. Think about it. We can make a run at a college football playoff. Emory Jones is a nightmare for a defense coordinator because he can beat you with the arm. He can beat you with the legs. He can run that read option out the backfield. RPOs, we're seeing those in offenses a lot now. That's what Mullen's game is built on, the run game. Everywhere he's been, run first, pass off the run. And if you look, I don't know the numbers, but just from watching every game, and I promise you I watched every snap of every game this year. When Trask was in, we struggled to run the ball. Now, was it all Trask's fault? Absolutely not. Offensive line struggled to run block all year. That was no secret. We couldn't get anything going in the running game. That's why what Trask accomplishments are magnified that much more, because a lot of these teams just sat in nickel coverage, had their nickel and dime packages in, because they knew we weren't running the ball. There's no chance we're running the ball. So, let's see. I'm getting off topic here. What did I want to talk about? Okay, so when Emory Jones is in there, they have to count for him every play. When Emory Jones came into games, especially if you watch the Orange Bowl, other than the one little, I won't say little, one big run, P-Ryan popped, we had far more success when Emory Jones is in the game because the defense has to account for him every time he's handing the ball off. He can pull it out the running back's stomach and hit you 50 yards to the house. Can Trask do that? Absolutely not. He is very slow. He doesn't move very well in the pocket. I believe it was the Auburn game. He got strip sacked like 4 times. And you seen in the Auburn game when Emory Jones came into the game after Trask got injured his knee. Well, I think he sprained his MCL or something like that. Emory came and moved us right down the field. We ended up kicking a field goal, but we went right down the field on one of the best defenses in the country. With that being said, we know he can make the throws, and he's a hard worker. He really is. I see him grinding all the time on Instagram, Snapchat. He's grinding. The kid's a grinder. And less of a competitor would have transferred by now. And we couldn't have blamed him. But he's a competitor. He's going to come in this spring, and he's not going to give Mullen a choice other than to start him. My expectations is for him to be the starter. I think, like I said, Trask has done a commendable job. No doubt about it. But with our offensive line situation, Emory Jones gives us a far better chance of winning games and taking that next step as a program. Like I said, I think Mullen's going to have to give him his chance. If he don't, you can say adios to Emory. Like I said, the portal giveth and the portal taketh away. Next topic, will Ty Grantham. Now, these are some questions I got from people on Twitter. I answered them personally, but I just figured a lot of y'all would have the same questions. I'm going to tell you what I think on the situation. Will Ty Grantham be at UF next year? I know if he's offered the job at Mississippi State, he's going to take it. He'd be a fool not to. It's a promotion. Going to be a raise. He'll have full control of his situation. His son's a senior in high school in Gainesville, Florida. I can't remember the name of the school. Maybe Buckholtz or something like that. Committed to play baseball in Starkville, so he'd be closer. He'd be able to watch his son's baseball games. Would we miss him if he does leave? I don't think we necessarily miss his coaching. Don't get me wrong, Ty Grantham in his first year there did a great job. This year, I think we regressed a little bit, and I don't think it was all Ty Grantham's fault. Our playmakers, like for instance, C.J. Henderson, I think he was checked out. That's not a lot to do with coaching, but it's your job to put the best players out there. So Todd, in my opinion, is a good person. He's an average recruiter, done a decent job at Florida. But what we will miss if he does leave is who he's going to take with him. And I'll tell you, Christian Robinson has quickly become my favorite assistant coach on staff. He's our best recruiter, in my opinion. He's landed some big targets for us. He's coming to the state of Georgia and taking some talent out of Georgia. He played at Georgia, so that'd be a key loss because, and I guarantee if Grantham gets that job, he's going to offer Robinson a promotion and it's going to be an increase in pay. What Florida needs to do to make sure we lock Robinson up and keep him in Gainesville, go ahead and give him a raise. Come on. It's not that hard. Let's pay our coaches what they're worth. Let's get him to hang around for some more years until he may be, in the next couple years, he may be ready to be a coordinator at Florida, which will be fine with me. I really like Christian Robinson. Okay, so another question. Let me take a sip of water real quick. We're getting in deep here, boys. This question is one that I've kind of answered already. What are my expectations for next year? I expect nothing less, and this is not a shot at Georgia. This is just based on what I've looked at, what we got coming back. The talent we've got, it should be no question we should be playing in Atlanta next year. We should win the East. That's my opinion. Not stepping on any toes. Georgia's going to be tough because that defense is going to be elite. Right now, I think Georgia's going to be piecing together who they're going to start at quarterback. I think the running back situation is fine. I think the offensive line is going to have to get some chemistry going, but the defense is going to be fine. So I think it's going to come down to Jacksonville for sure. So our schedule is set up for a run at the college football playoff as well. We play some weak non-conference games. We play Florida State. They got a new coach. Will they be decent? Probably decent, but I expect to win that game, running away, especially with what we have coming back. We don't play a real strong non-conference schedule. And then we play the East opponents. We play the Kentucky, Georgia, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, South Carolina, and Missouri. But then out the West, guess who we play? We play Ole Miss, who's got a brand new coach, which in a couple years, that would be a game that is going to scare me. We play in Oxford, so I think that's a game we should win as well. And then we play LSU. So our two toughest games next year is a formless Georgia and Jacksonville. They're going to be breaking in a lot of new players. And then we play a Burrowless LSU at home. Games are both winnable games. I'm not saying we're going to win the game. There's still a lot to unfold in the off season and early. We got to stay healthy, but those games are winnable. And I expect us to make a run at the. Okay, so back to what I was saying. For some reason, my TV shut off. All my lights went out. I'm not really sure what happened. I paid the power bill. All right. So, like I said, I expect us to make a run at college football playoff. And that sounds weird coming out of my mouth because I know just 2 short years ago, right before we fired McElwain, we were a 4-win team getting blown out in Jacksonville 42-7. I mean, it was an embarrassing time to be a Florida Gator. So I feel our pain, and trust me, there are better days ahead, and I can't wait to see us if we can get over that hump. We won 10 games in Mullen's first season, 11 games this past season, the 2019 season. I'm trying to win 14. 14, 15 games, trying to get to I want to be a national champion again. But we'll see how that goes. I'm not predicting Florida to win the national championship by any means. There's going to be some more elite teams with elite quarterbacks. But if we want to take that step, Emory Jones is our guy. You heard it here first. If Emory Jones starts, Florida's a problem next year. If he can stay healthy, we can stay healthy. Anyway, thank you guys for stopping by. I dropped some merch. Make sure you go check it out. Link's going to be in the description. Go buy a shirt. Go buy a hoodie. Have a blessed day. I love y'all. Peace.